No terrorist is Muslim. You cannot kill people and claim to be Muslim. The Quran says in Surah 5:32, if anyone kills a person, it is as if he has killed all mankind. While if anyone saves a life, it is as if he has saved all mankind. Islam is a religion of peace. It's a religion of love. But it has got a bad name. From the tiny fraction, less than 1% of them who claim to be Muslims and support terrorism. ISIS are not Muslims. They are mercenaries. They fight for money, not religion. I learned this from serving in Iraq. I went on air assault missions to capture high-value targets. The people we were sent to capture were the financiers of insurgents. They paid money to insurgents to plant bombs in the road. The people planting the bombs claimed to be Muslims fighting jihad, but in reality they were fighting for money. They were paid to fight. This means they didn't fight for religion, but for money. The other thing about ISIS is this. ISIS is a broad term that America, Russia, and Iran all use to say they are fighting ISIS, but in reality there is a dozen countries in Iraq who are fighting mercenaries, who are funding mercenaries in order to fight one another, and ISIS is a term they all use to describe their enemy, when in reality Iran, Russia, are fighting America and the West through proxy wars. They all have mercenaries on the ground fighting each other, and they use this term ISIS to describe their enemy when it's actually Russia fighting America through proxy, not actually an Islamic war. All the war in Syria and Iraq is a proxy war between Russia and America and Iran. They use ISIS as a scapegoat to justify their being there, when in reality it's just America and the West against Russia and Iran. It's not actually an Islamic war, it's a war between Russia and America. There are a dozen countries in Iraq and Syria all fighting each other. ISIS is just a scapegoat because America and Russia for some reason don't want the world to know they are fighting each other through proxy. Russia protected Assad and prevented Syria from falling. Russia says they are fighting ISIS, or ISIL, but really they are fighting Western-backed militias who are trying to get rid of Assad. The same with America, who says they are fighting ISIS, but really they are fighting Russian-backed and Iranian-backed militia. The war in the Middle East was never about terrorism. It was all about oil and pipelines and American imperialism. America needs war and the enemy to justify military spending. America has been in endless wars for the last decades because war keeps the economy growing. It's been essential to the economy to grow. America is also the world's superhero because using its imperialism to take out dictatorships and evil people. America has also spent trillions of dollars rebuilding the countries we destroyed. But make no mistake, the war in the Middle East is between the West and Russia and Iran. It's not a war on terrorism. In reality, America was the invaders, but it was the only way to keep America going to counter Russia and Iran. If America didn't spend endless money on endless war, then all the military and contractors would be out of jobs and income. War creates millions of jobs. It's also the way America keeps the world in check and maintains its balance as the world protector. Any dictator